The Pfaff Creative 1.5 sewing machine has a ton of buttonholes. Now I know not everybody likes to do buttonholes, but once you see how easy they are, you might not want to shy away from them. So first off, this is your buttonhole foot. It has a number 5 on it. And so when you choose, let's go ahead and just choose the first one. Stitch 25 is our first buttonhole. Foot 5, it recommends some stabilizer, and take a look, it already has reduced the top tension, so that's going to make that buttonhole pull to the back side, make a nice rounded bead to each of those buttonhole legs. And there's actually quite a few different styles, so 25 is a thinner one, 26 is the one I'm going to stitch for you. As you go up, you'll see different buttonholes with like rounded ends, keyhole ends, different styles. You'll just have to stitch them all out. This one's even a stretch buttonhole, so it's a little bit more open, not so solid. Then we get into how to sew buttons on, so we'll do that after we sew our buttonholes. So let's go ahead and go back to the beginning. Stitch 25, that was the thin one. Stitch 26 is the thicker one, so just a little bit wider. Next, you'll notice that the place you attach the foot is at the front. So all of this will stick out behind the machine. So just make sure you don't get it on backwards. Next, you can take your button and actually place it into the back of the foot, and now it knows how big to make the buttonhole. So put your button back there, you don't even have to think about it. Next, you do need to make sure your IDT is disengaged. As you can see, it's not showing on screen. Feed dogs are up because it is moving our fabric around. Now if you're having trouble getting your foot underneath here, remember you can take your presser foot lifter and lift it a little higher so you can easily get it to where you need to attach it and then gently lift up. Now this next step is a must. So right behind your needle threader is a silver kind of arm that is pulled down. That silver arm actually is what tracks how big the button is in the back side. Now on your first buttonhole, your thread is going to be on the top. So if you do want to just thread it down below, or once you start, trim it off. Let me see if I can, you know what, I'm going to cheat today and slide it underneath my presser foot. Also too, once you test out your buttonholes, you will notice that all of them start here and stitch away from us. So they're going to stitch towards the back of my fabric. So as you get lined up, maybe you've put a mark of each place that a buttonhole needs to be stitched. Then all you need to do is put the needle directly above it. Now you can step on your foot control, or you know what, you can go ahead and use the start-stop button. If you don't want it to go so fast, you could adjust your speed a little bit, and then it will just make it so it's easy to watch. I don't know why, but maybe we'll just do it full speed. You'll notice that it actually stitches away from us with a straight stitch, and then this little lever actually touches that part of the foot to tell it to turn around, and then it stitches the satin stitch over the top of the straight stitch. Back to the beginning. Go back to putting the bar tack at the top. And so you notice that both the lines of stitching, the satin stitches, are stitched towards each other, or in the same direction. So you have a nice evenly stitched buttonhole. Look, at the end, the thread cut is programmed in, and it stops. So remember, I had used the start-stop button, so once it ends, it ends. Now when you lift up the presser foot, you will find that all you have to do is pull it out and see if you like the look of it. Once you like the look, you can just set it to start at the new place. We're going to speed this up, push the start-stop button again, and you could be doing buttonholes on everything because it is this easy. Now we are going to do a corded buttonhole, so you can see how that is done. So you can look up in this top right corner here for a little eye, and that will take you over to the corded buttonhole. And on this machine we also have a manual buttonhole option because you actually have 2 buttonhole feet. So we'll do the manual buttonhole as well. And don't forget, we can sew on buttons when we're done also. Just remember that once you're done with a buttonhole, make sure you take that little silver arm and send it back up behind the needle threader. That's where it hangs out when you're not using it.